Don't forget your underwear. Always make sure that you're wearing your underwear when you're going to work. Consistency is one of the key things. Like if you see most of my work, I try to remain as consistent as possible because you'll never know. People are always watching. Make sure that every single job that you do is the best that you can do, which is what I do with my work. There's a saying in this film industry that says you're only as good as your last job. So that thing always haunts my mind. That's why it doesn't matter what I'm shooting. I make sure that it's good. Even if it's something that I hate or whatever, or something that I really don't like, I always make sure that I do my best at it. Make contacts. I think the biggest thing with getting further in the cinematography game and in the film industry in general is just to make contacts. Always make sure that you're making friends wherever you're going. The other big thing is just put your stuff online. I see a lot of people work, but they hardly ever put their stuff online. Online is where most of the content lives now. That's where people can access it whenever they want. Open a channel even, like put your name on it and then make sure that you always put in content in there. Whatever you're shooting, just upload it just so people can see. My wife usually says this, out of sight is out of mind. So if people are not seeing the work that you're doing, they won't call you. Lighting, composition, filming style, the internet, and Instagram. You see those things? I think those things are the ones that got me to where I am right now. Like lighting is very important with whatever you shoot when it comes to cinematography. Your lighting needs to be very special and different from everyone else. Your composition, you need a style that you actually using to do your composition. Your composition needs to be like quite on point and very cinematic. And then the style of shooting, whether it be sliding or locked off shots or handheld stuff, just find out which one is your best and then try by all means to nail it down and make it proper, make it the best that it can be, like master that technique. And then Instagram is very important because it helps you with seeing your surroundings and just helping you with framing as well. And the internet is where you learn everything. So without the internet, I don't think you're gonna go anywhere when it comes to learning stuff like cinematography and stuff like that. So make sure you spend a lot of time every month on the internet just watching other people, other creators. Those are my 5 key elements of cinematography. What you should never forget is how to stay consistent. Consistency is like one of the key elements when it comes to becoming a better cinematographer and a greater cinematographer. Don't forget to be humble as well. When you're humble, that's when you get people that can open up to you and actually give you more information than you actually have. So it doesn't matter whether it's like a DOP that you're working under or a director or a producer or an executive or whoever. It doesn't matter who you're talking to, just make sure that you're always humble. Even if they're dicks towards you or whatever, just stay humble because it'll also change them. Always be a hard worker. Like don't stop working hard because never relax. Like always be busy, always be out there, always be doing something. Always make sure that you're grinding and you're never just relaxing and chilling, because the time that you're spending not doing anything, that's the time that you're losing where you could be learning something. Just be keen to learn, that's it. Always be keen to learn. It doesn't matter at what stage you are. Like even myself, I've been doing cinematography professionally for like 8 to 10 years now, and I'm always learning. Like every single set that I go on to, I learn something new. So always have your mind prepared to be in a space where you're learning, because especially because the way that technology is going on right now, there's always something new happening. There's always a new camera, there's always a new rig that holds your camera, there's always a new light. So always make sure that you're ready to learn all those things in each and every single set that you go to. My first big break in cinematography, I would say it was like my 2nd and 3rd year films. Like my 2nd year film made me start to believe in myself that I can actually do this thing. And then what my 3rd year film did, it was like just push me even further, because I remember at school I was the first black cinematographer to actually get like a best cinematography award. at AVDA, like in the history of AVDA. AVDA's been around since like 97, and in 2008, so 11 years I think. I was like the first black person to actually get that award. So I think it did a lot for my career because it gave me that moral boost that I needed and the confidence to go out there and actually do whatever it is that I want to do when it comes to like being in charge of the cinematography department. So I would say, what is it? My second year film is called Isazela, and then the third one was Igolite. You can find both of them online, so check them out. And I just believe that they pushed me so much, you know, into believing in myself and just actually being able to go out there and do each and every single thing that I want to do when it comes to cinematography. So yeah, I think those are the two ones that laid the foundation for me to be where I am right now. Talking about Ameni, that's a video we got like a bunch of awards for. Nelisiwe is the one who came up with the concept, and I shot and directed the music video. It was such a far-fetched concept, you know. It seemed like it could be crazy, but I'm glad that the guys that we were working with, they were open to like just whatever idea that we had. I think it was just such a out of the ordinary concept for South Africa, and I think that's why it got all the awards that it did, because it was just such a fun project that no one has done before, you know. Like people with superpowers, you hardly ever see that in like Africa or in, let me say South Africa, because you know, the guys at the north are like bosses when it comes to like superpowers and stuff like that. I remember we shot it over 2 days, and I had an awesome team. I think that's the biggest thing about it. Like, that's the biggest thing about cinematography and the film game in general. Just make sure that you have the best team, because everybody brought their A game. I remember people felt like they were crazy because we were telling them to do things like throwing their hands at nothing, and filming it looks like a bit stupid, but you know, when it comes together in post, that's when you get to see that, wow, okay, this thing was like extraordinary. The summer award was quite a monumental thing in my life, because it's something it's like the top of the game, man, when it comes to music videos inside South Africa. So I'm just hoping and praying that, you know, in the future we get to see more stuff like that, because I think it's very good. It's inspiring to the kids to see that a kid from Rustenburg in Tlhabane can just come and, you know, be at the top of the game when it comes to the South African music market, and to go out there and actually have a video that's thought to be the best video amongst all the videos in the country for that year. I'm Ofesntse Mwase, cinematography in Joburg. You're watching All Day TV. Bye.
Why is Mama always so angry?
Yeah, good question. I wish we could have her here so she can answer that question herself.
Okay, rolling.
Stuff like that. So I always make sure that I'm like, yo, dude, I'm forcing. What was your question again? Can I go?
Yeah,
It's fine.
anytime you're ready.
£3.
Take pictures for the thumbnails.
La la. La la la. You must make it an interesting thumbnail, like maybe I'm stabbing someone or something. Clickbait. Film. Film. What an interesting thing. Okay. Feels like deja vu. I had an interview just like this last week. Right here. Right here. But in the sun, it was worse. Because just from the people, the way that people reacted, like my peers and people outside, or even people outside of my school, just the way that I should wait, ne? Banoi. My pool looks so sad in winter. Banoi. 2 Banoi.